Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. In today's video, I am very excited to do a comparison between the Louis Vuitton 6-ring key holder and the Chanel flap key holder. I have had both of these items for quite some time. Actually, I would say this one I've had about a year, and then this one I've had a little bit longer. But since owning both of them, I have really had a chance to compare both of them to determine which one I like better, and I have had a lot of questions, especially since getting the Chanel flap key holder. I have gotten so many questions as to whether or not it's worth it. So in today's video, I'm going to break it down. I have not done one of these comparison videos in quite some time, and I love doing these because one thing I always tell you guys, these items can be expensive, and I want to make sure I can provide as much detail as possible for you so that you can make an informed decision as to whether or not these items are right for you and which one to pick. So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to tell you all about each item. I'm going to tell you the price. I'm going to show you what fits, pros, cons, and then at the end, I'm going to tell you between these two, which one do I like better. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure to stick around, and let's get right into the comparison between the LV key holder and the Chanel flap key holder. Okay, so the first thing I like to do in my videos is I like to do a little bit of a description on each item. So we're going to start with the Chanel flap key holder. So this is the one I have. I have it in the black caviar leather. This has the champagne gold hardware. On the back, it has a really nice feature. It has a back pocket, and if you have been following my channel, you know that I love back pockets, whether it be on wallets, whether it be on handbags. Some of my most used handbags have back pockets, so it does have a back pocket. Then you open it, it has a snap closure. And on the interior, it's going to have 4 little key rings here. You also have a little snap right here, and it comes with a little key ring. Now, I actually have my fob attached to it. I'm going to be honest, I was being a little lazy because if I tried to get my fob off of this key ring, I knew I would chip my nail, so I was not willing to sacrifice chipping my nail. But this is how it comes, which is a nice little feature. And then there is also a little side compartment right here where you can put cards, and I will get into what fits. So you can see that right there. And this does also come in lambskin as well, but I opted for the caviar because I knew for something like this, I was going to be really using it a lot and, you know, putting it through the ringer. So I wanted to make sure I had something that was going to hold up nicely. Now let's move on to Louis Vuitton. I have this Louis Vuitton 6-ring key holder right here. This is in the beautiful Damier Ebene canvas with the rose ballerine. It's something about this combination. I just love this combination together. You can see it has a little leather button snap closure. And then you open it like this, and it does have the 6 rings right here, and then there is an internal compartment. Now, I have always told you, if you've watched my videos before, I do kind of wish that one side was closed off because you can see you can put cards back there, but it goes all the way through. This is canvas, and it snaps closed. So you can see the two of them next to each other are pretty comparable. So they're about the same height. The only difference is the depth. Both of these are empty, and you can see that the Chanel flap key holder is a lot bulkier. Before we get into like the what fits, the pros and cons, I want to go into the price because the price is the thing that really got me with these. There is a huge price difference. Now, don't get me wrong, these are both super expensive, but when I found out the price of this, I was just shocked. So I had been looking for this for a really long time. I had gone into the store. My sales associate had one in lambskin, but I knew I wanted one in caviar. So she's like, I'm going to look for it. So she's like, as soon as it comes in, I'll let you know. And she let me know that it came in. And you guys, I think my chin dropped to the ground when she told me the price. This was, as of January 2023, and who knows what the price is now, $750. I know, crazy. Like, I could not believe it, but I had been after this piece for so long. I really, really wanted it. I knew it was something I was going to use every day, so I did splurge, and it was part of my birthday present to myself. So this comes at a high price tag. Who knows what the price is today, but when I bought it was $750. Now, this one right here, as of today, I actually looked up the price this morning on the website. This retails for $325 for the canvas. Now, Now, if you were going to get the Empreinte version, just to keep it comparable, that retails for about $420. So we're talking $750 compared to $325. That is a huge price difference. So that's where it's going to be really important for you guys to take all of my pros and cons into consideration to see which one is worth it for you. Hey, what I want to do now, I think it's best to circle the camera around and I want to share with you what fits in both of these. I think it's important for you to get an up close view to see if it's going to fit your essentials. Okay, I have my fall decor out because it is October, but we are going to start with the Louis Vuitton 6-ring key holder. So here is an up close view of it. You can see it has the button closure and it opens like this. And I want to show you how I normally use it. So what I did was I have the cards I usually use in here, but I just put gift cards on the outside. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have about 7 cards. So what I usually do is I will put them behind here. So it gets a little thick, but that's what I usually do. And then I will also have a little bit of folded up cash. I have to fold it this way and you can put it behind here as well. Now, one complaint I do have is that this part right here does not close all the way. I really wish that it did because then I would feel a little better about my items being a little more secure, but that's what I usually do. And then I have my keys. I have 3 keys here. One of them is a mailbox key. I have my house key. I also have a PO box key. And usually what I will do is I will attach the keys like that. And I find that I like to attach them towards the center because it makes it a little easier to close. Then I have my key fob here. And I also have this little guy. My daughter gave me. It says some people have to wait their entire lives to meet their favorite player. I raised mine, so I always carry that with me too. And I will, you know, pop this on here as well. So that's kind of the layout that I typically go for with the cards. And then what I can do is I can close it, but it is a little difficult. So you can see when I do close it, it does kind of bend like this because the problem with the canvas, it's just not quite as flexible. Now, what you could do, this is what I normally carry. You could take some cards out a little bit, but this is what I usually like to carry. This is the stuff that I typically need. So a lot of times what I do with this one is I just kind of will hold it like this and I will keep it open. I don't typically close this as much. So as far as what fits, it does fit my essentials, but it's just a little bit of a tight squeeze. So now let's go ahead and look at the Chanel flap key holder and see what that fits. Here is the beautiful Chanel flap key holder, and you can see it's caviar, has the back pocket. It opens like this, and it actually does come with a Chanel ring as well, but that's what I have my key fob attached to. So let's start on the outside. This back pocket, it stretches, and this is everything. So I'm going to take the same cards. I have about 7 cards, and I'm going to pop them in there, but if I wanted, I could actually fit more, which is nice. But I'm just going to take a little bit of cash to, again, fold it like this and pop that in there. And just so you know, I have never worried about anything falling out. It's in there pretty secure, as you can see. Then I open it. There is also another compartment right there. So if you want to do this, I sometimes will pop just a little bit of cash in there. You could put a card in there as well, but I like to use that. So then what I do is here is the little ring that comes with it. I want to show you, see how it says Chanel on it. So what I like is I just attach this here, which is nice so it sticks out, because you know sometimes it'll be a little too bulky if you have the key up here. Then you have the 4 little key holders. So once again, I have this little item that my daughter gave me, and I attach that. And then I have my 3 keys that I use, and I attach that as well. So here's how it looks. I have my key fob hanging out, I have my keys, a little bit of cash, and I fold it. But you know, the flexibility, like see how like it really stretches? So I can close it really easy, and it stretches if you put more in here. So it is a little bulky, but it fits all of my essentials. And like I said, I could fit more cards in here. So I find this one to be extremely user-friendly. Now, if you wanted to put more keys on there, you could, but that's kind of all I carry. I don't really ever use the key fob up here. But let me take it out and just show you why, because if I were to put it here and attach it, I could still close it, but it is a little bulkier, as you can see. So that's the main reason I like to have it hanging out. So if we are talking about both of these, you can see that they both fit your essentials, but this one is definitely a little more user-friendly. It can fit more, and it's just a little more flexible because of the caviar compared to the canvas, which can be a little bit stiff. So as you can see from the what fits portion, both of these definitely fit your essentials. Like you could fit your keys, you could fit your cards, you could fit some folded up cash, but this one is definitely a little easier with the back pocket, and it could fit quite a few cards, and I'm not as concerned about them slipping out. Plus, I love the fact that this one right here does come with the little attached key holder, so I can attach my key fob to it, and it just makes it a little easier. So both of these definitely fit the essentials, but you could see this one fit a lot more comfortably. Now I want to get into the wear and tear. Now there is a disclaimer here. I have had this one for about a year, and I have had this one for a few years now. So I have not owned these for the same amount of time, but I still feel like I can point out the wear and tear. Even though I haven't had this one as long, I have used this almost every day since I've gotten it. I absolutely love it. So I want to start with the wear and tear on this. So this is in the caviar. The caviar still looks beautiful and puffy. On the back, I really stretch out this because, as you could tell, I use a lot of cards, but it still looks really nice. The stitching is still intact. There might be a little bit right here, The only thing is on the inside. There are a couple little key marks here from my keys, and then there are some little fingerprints here and there, but other than that, that's pretty much the only wear and tear for this. There is no tarnishing on the hardware. The hardware is looking nice and shiny. You can see the hardware still looks really nice and shiny, almost like a mirror. You can see yourself in it. So I am very impressed with how much I use this, that there's very little wear and tear on my Chanel flap key holder. Let's talk wear and tear on the Louis Vuitton 6-ring key holder. Okay, so I want to start. There is some wear and tear on the button closure here, so you can see it's starting to wear a lot, and the leather is actually starting to peel a little bit. This was one of the issues I had. I did own the Monogram 6-ring key holder. I ended up selling that because the button was peeling, and I did really want the Damier Ebene with the rose ballerine. But that is one thing to keep in mind if you want the 6-ring key holder. If you get the one with the leather, it is going to start to peel. Another huge thing I noticed with this is there is so much tarnishing up here, which I was really surprised about. So you can see the tarnishing there, and then you can see that compared to how the Chanel is nice and shiny. Do you see that? So that's one thing I was a little disappointed at, but one thing I was pleasantly surprised by this, a lot of times if you get the rose ballerine interior, you would think it would get dirty, especially with keys, but look, the rose ballerine, it still looks like brand new. So I would say the only thing with this, major tarnishing up here, and then you have the button closure, which there is some wear. Let's see, I'm looking on the canvas. There's nothing really on the canvas, but there is a little bit on the stitching that's starting to kind of come out just a little bit, but it's not too bad. So if we're talking wear and tear, even though I've had this one longer, but there is a little more wear and tear. I was really disappointed by how much tarnishing there was. And then of course I knew what to expect with this button closure because I did have that happen with my first one, but that is one thing to keep in mind if you do opt for the 6-ring key holder. But very impressed with the wear and tear on this one considering how much I use it. Okay, now let's get into the pros and cons, and I'm going to start with the pros, and we're going to start with the Chanel flap key holder. The main thing I love about this is the back pocket. I know that's no surprise to you guys, but this is really nice because if I'm at the grocery store, you know, I have my credit card in here, I have my ID, and I'm going to use Target as an example. It's just so easy to like pull my cards out and put them back in. I've never had an issue with them falling out, so I really like how easy it is to use. This back pocket is everything. I also love that I went with caviar as opposed to the lambskin. This has been so durable. As you could see by the wear and tear, there is little to no wear and tear on this wallet. It has just been amazing. And if you're going to have something like a key holder, you want to know that it's very durable and it's going to hold up well because you're going to be throwing it around. You're going to be using it quite a bit. Another thing I kind of mentioned, there's a lot of room for my cards. Like, look how much this stretches. I have put so many cards in here, you know, as you could see in the what fits portion. So if you're someone that carries your ID or major credit card and store credit cards, you could carry it all in here. Now there is also another compartment in here if you want to put a card. I don't usually use this one. Sometimes I will throw a little bit of cash in there, but I will fold it up. But it's just been like really nice and convenient. Another thing I really love is, hopefully you'll be able to see this, but it stretches a lot. So like if I have a lot of cards in here, you know how sometimes wallets, well actually the canvas version is a good example. If you put cards in here, it's harder and harder to close. This will almost like stretch and it'll go really far so you can fit a lot. So I absolutely love that. I also really love that it comes with this little key ring right here because that's what I put my fob on. And you know, so that way my fob can stick out. I can have my other keys and I just carry it like this. And it has been so convenient. It has been so easy to use. And another thing too, as expensive as this key holder is or was, who knows what it is now, I truly believe it's going to retain its value because Chanel is constantly having price increases. And then in addition to that, these are so hard to get. When I saw this in store, when I saw the lambskin, I was shocked. I never see these in store. So if you get an opportunity to get one of these, like they really are great. And another thing I want to touch on too is just the ease of use with this. It's just so user friendly. It really is. I can have everything in one spot. All of my keys, my cards, I can fold a little bit of cash up too. It has just been a great addition. And I mean, it's super cute to look at. The only thing I would have liked, they could have done a little differently. And who knows, maybe they make this. I don't think they do, but I would have loved it if they had like the little turn lock closure. I'm obsessed with the turn lock closure from Chanel. And if they made this little flap key holder with the back pocket and the turn lock closure, oh my goodness, I would be in heaven. So this has so many pros. Now we're going to go to the pros of this one. Very similar to the Chanel key holder in the sense where it definitely can fit your essentials. It can fit your keys. You can put some cards, some folded up cash behind here. I do not usually carry as many cards in this one that I do in this one because this can fit more. So in here, I'll typically have a major credit card, my ID, some folded up cash, and then I have these. Now keep in mind, with the key fob, it will not really close with the key fob for me because I will have my other keys. So I like to kind of have the key fob hanging down a little bit so that I can close it. So a lot of times I will honestly just have this open, but if it's your essentials, which is a pro. Another thing this is, if we're looking at both of these, this is the more affordable option. So I have to include that as a pro as well, but it's also done a pretty good job of holding up well, especially on the inside. I am really impressed with the Rose Ballerine. I was actually shocked. I thought for sure the inside would be dirty, but again, it fits your essentials. It just does not fit quite as much as the Chanel. Okay, let's talk cons because as much as we love the pros, there are also cons. The first con I want to mention with this is the obvious. It is a very hard to get piece. Like I said, when I went into the store and I saw the lambskin key holder, I was shocked. It's very difficult to get. So that is definitely a con. You know, I had to ask my sales associate, I had to wait for it to come in and she had to hunt for it. And I think she actually was able to get it from another store and they sent it to her. Another thing, the price is steep. That should be the con number one. $750 for a key holder. That is crazy. Like, that is absurd. I still can't believe I paid that for this. but I use it every day. But that price is just so much, and who knows like how much it's gonna go up. I don't even want to think of that. I mean, I always talk about the Chanel price increases, about how I got my classic flap like 10 years ago and it has more than doubled. I can't believe it, because even back then when I bought that bag, I thought it was expensive. I just cannot believe today's prices. So who knows what this will get up to. It's crazy. Another con I need to mention is it is a bit bulky, so you have to keep that in mind, especially when you fill it with the cards and you have the keys. It will start to bulk up a little bit, so it definitely is a lot thicker than the Louis Vuitton card holder. And then the final con I want to mention is in here you can see there are some little like key marks. Other than that, the wear and tear on this has been great. There is also, I wanted to mention wear and tear. When you open it, there is a little bit of wrinkling, but you can't really like see that too much. The main is here, so just keep in mind you're gonna get like the little key marks on here. Okay, now let's talk about cons of the 6-ring key holder. Now unfortunately I do have quite a few cons for this one. The first con I want to mention is the obvious. It's the wear and tear on the button. I hate the fact that this button starts to peel, and not only is it peeling, but see how you can kind of start to like see through it a little bit. Another thing is the tarnishing. So as much as I was happy that the rose ballerine part looked nice, I was so disappointed in this tarnishing. I really was. Like, I couldn't believe that was happening, like at the top and then also at the top of these little key rings here. Another thing, this, just like this one, can also be bulky. Now this one is a lot bulkier, but of course when you start to put things in it, it can be bulky as well, and I have a hard time closing it sometimes. So a lot of times I will just leave it open, which I feel a little more comfortable with this one, because this one I can close and keep it a little more secure. Another thing that I want to mention is I do keep my cards behind here, but I do wish that it had a closure right here so that I felt a little more secure about my cards. Now, I do want to say I have yet to have cards or anything fall out of it, but it would just make me feel a little bit better if there was a closure. Because I have the back pocket on this one, I really wish there was a back pocket on this one here, because the problem is I use this one and then I go to use this one and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm really missing that back pocket there. So, and then also if you do have like the key fob in here, it's extremely hard to close, so you are going to have to keep the key fob out. It also does not stretch quite as much, which is a little bit of a hassle, and it is similar to Chanel in a sense where it is hard to find. I don't know why these items are so hard to find. They're so popular, so you would think that Louis Vuitton and Chanel would make more of them, but they're probably just playing the game with the hard to get pieces. But that is another con. It is hard to get. And another con too is it is expensive, but if we are comparing the two, this one is definitely cheaper than the Chanel. Okay guys, moment of truth. Which one do I prefer between the Louis Vuitton key holder and the Chanel flap key holder? I have to say, I have given you guys a clue throughout this whole entire video. You know that when I do like unboxing videos, I like to do clues, like as to like what color the bag I get. I have given you a clue this whole time. My favorite between the two is the Chanel flap key holder, and I have been wearing my Chanel earrings. You guys, I love this piece so much, other than the price. The only thing is the price and the fact that it's hard to get. But other than that, this just makes my life so easy. I always talk about like when I go to Target, right? I don't take a purse all the time. I just grab this. I will keep my cards in the back, my ID, my Target card, my major credit cards. I'll fold up a little bit of cash. I will have my keys in here. And I love the fact that it comes with this little key ring where I can have my key fob sticking out. I love how flexible it is when I close it, so it's very easy to use. It's very durable because of the caviar, and this back pocket is just everything. Now, do I still love this one? Yes. You know, I'm a small leather goods collector. I try to switch out my small leather goods, but you guys, when I switch from this to this, I find that I am missing this. I just love it so much. It is so convenient, easy to use, and just one of the best. And it looks so cute. I mean, it just looks so cute. They both are. They're both beautiful. They're both cute, but I just love this, and I'm so happy I got it. And I think between the two, if I had to pick one, and you were able to get one, I would definitely say this one. But again, it also does depend on you. It depends on your budget. It depends on your interest. It depends on, out of the positives and negatives that I mentioned, what is important to you. And that is the main reason I do these videos. Hopefully I can help you guys decide, because we're all different. We all carry things differently. So even though this one works for me, this one might work better for you, you know? So it all depends, and it's my job here to just kind of lay all the facts out, and then you can hopefully make your decision. But I know these are hard to get, so I'm going to try to find them on the pre-loved market and link some options down below. But if you're able to grab this and get your hands on it, it is such a good piece. The back pocket is just a life changer for sure. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out and let me know. If you're new to my channel, I would love to have you hit that little subscribe button, and I would love to have you follow me on Instagram as well. I share a lot of deals and behind the scenes and just more day in the life over on Instagram, so I'd love to have you join me over there as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if there's anything else you would like to see from me, any type of handbag review or comparison, let me know. Again, I know these items can be very expensive, so it's my job to help you guys make your decision. So have a good day, you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.